All right, so today, like the title says, I'm talking about the 3 rules to creating a killer freebie. And thank you for the hearts. If you are interested in creating a better freebie than you have now, or maybe you don't have one, definitely comment or heart it up and just let me know that this is a good topic. So the rule, I'm just going to jump right into it, but actually first I should introduce myself. I'm Taylor with Taylor Manning Creative. I help women entrepreneurs turn their offline expertise into an online expertise with a killer marketing strategy. So I love that word killer. And in my 5-day training, which is my freebie, I talk about making a killer freebie. And I started getting a lot of people messaging me, asking me for, what do you think would be a killer freebie for my industry or for my business? What actually makes one? So I wanted to really elaborate on it. And yeah, and I'm glad that you think this is the perfect topic. So to just jump right in, the reason that I say a killer freebie is because I think in a lot of industries right now, the one-page PDF, which used to be super, super popular, valuable, and killer, is not anymore because it's used so much and people have downloaded a million of them. Speaking to a large audience, a lot of people have already downloaded so many and seen it so much that it doesn't pique their interest anymore as much. That's my opinion. That's what I've been seeing. I don't know about you guys. So I created these 3 rules to make something a little bit better than a one-page PDF. So rule number 1 is that your freebie should be worth more than other people's paid content. This should be something that you could put a price tag of, like $20 to $50. Like if your audience was big, like even if you're just starting out, just think if my audience was, a few hundred more people, I could probably sell this for $20 easily. I could probably even sell it for $50 with a little extra work. So kind of think of it like that. So instead of just giving a one-page PDF, give someone a ebook or a video training series or really in-depth email course or whatever it is, whatever works for you and your style of creativity. Because like I say all the time to my clients is, if you're more comfortable on video, do that. If you're more comfortable with writing, do that, because that's where you're just if that's what you're strongest at, that's where your personality is really going to come out. That's where your content is really just going to shine and how people are going to connect with you best. Whether they prefer video or email, it should really be about what you feel that you really shine in. So, hi Stephanie, thanks for joining us. So like I was mentioning in my email that I sent my list last night, is make an ebook that's like 30 pages or heck, even 80 pages, because I see people with these freebies that are like an 80-page ebook and it's like, oh, that's pretty killer. People are going to sign up for that because it's so much information for free. How could you not? Now, I'm not saying it needs to be 80 pages, but just giving an example, that's definitely out there. And there might be somebody in your industry who's doing that. So if you have a 1-page and somebody's like, oh, get my 80-page ebook, what do you think is really going to stand out more and make people go, wow, that person gives a lot of value? But even something like a 5-day video series or 5-day challenge or a 5-day email sequence, people are loving that, and it's a ton of content for them that makes them really just love you and trust you and want more. Hi, Angie. So, yeah, exactly. So you're selling that ebook for $2.99, and hi, Stephanie, now that I see your picture, I didn't realize that was you. I'm so glad that you're here. You're selling that for $2.99. If you could do something equal or even put that as your freebie or whatever, something similar, it's good free content because you're able to sell something. So rule number 2, make sure that your content accurately shows your personality and solves your audience's main problem. Thank you, Jody. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So when I say this, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to give it all away in my free content. But the thing is you have to give it all away, because think about it this way. I know my audience is really people who are constantly downloading marketing stuff. So probably you guys as well. So just think about this to yourself, and this might not be you, but I know it's a lot of people in my community. How many PDFs have you downloaded? How many ebooks have you gotten? How many video series have you watched? How many periscopes? How many webinars? How many podcasts? How many hours of consuming content around your biggest problem? How many hours of consuming free content and paid, whatever, around your biggest problem have you, consumed? And have you actually applied it enough to solve the problem yet? The thing is even if you give your audience the exact steps to solve their problem in your free content and you give it all away per se, that's not to say that they're never going to need your services now, their life's going to be completely fixed, and they're never going to think of you again. No way. You're going to get them so much closer, but odds are that they're still going to need what you have to offer, which is probably more in-depth support, a lot more explanation on things, because usually our biggest problem is something that we have to really, really work through. And they're going to trust you. Exactly. They're going to go, wow, she really knows her stuff. I really want her to be my support system. I really want her to be my coach. I really want her to be my assistant. Whatever it is, when you give it all away, they're not going to realize that you've given it all away, but they're going to realize that you gave a lot away for free to them just to gain their trust and give them some really great content to help them. So don't stress about doing too much. However, I do want to mention that don't also stress about including every single detail, because the thing is, it should give all of the, the high level stuff, but you don't have to go so in depth that you're spending a year creating a book for your free offer. No way. So find a happy medium. This should take you some hours of work. It shouldn't just take you an hour and now you have your new freebie like you might with a one-page PDF. It should take you a little bit to get it done, but not so much that it's like, oh yeah, I worked on this free book for a year and now it's ready. That's a little much. So you don't have to stress that much about giving it all away. So rule number 3, our final rule, is that the freebie should never go out of style. What I mean by this is it should be evergreen content. So it shouldn't be, let's say you're starting to make your freebie and it's right around the summer, or right around the holidays, or right around this or that. You can make a one-page PDF about how to lose weight during the holidays, or how to not gain weight during the holidays, or how to not get stressed by your family. Like, this is just an example since this just passed and I saw a ton of these. You can make something like a simple opt-in around that, or maybe a challenge around that, but your signature freebie, your killer freebie, needs to be something that's evergreen and is always going to be able to promote. You should be able to promote it all during the year, probably for at least a year. This should be enough work that you can feel so good about it because you're going to be able to promote this for the whole year. So think about it that way. So it needs to be evergreen and it needs to be something you can always go back to. And if you really put in some time and effort into it and make this something that showcases your signature style, your way of teaching things, really how you connect the dots between where they are and where they want to be. If you really just showcase how you do that, this could be something that you use for years to come. So it should never go out of style. Those are the 3 rules. I hope that helped. If anyone has any questions, let me know. What about making a freebie available on a limited basis? Yeah, so what I'm talking about right now is, I called it a killer freebie, but it also is referred to as, and I call it sometimes a signature freebie. So it's something that's always on your homepage. It's always available. It's something you can always return to. But if you want to make something that's more limited and more based on, that time of year, time of their life, or whatever, that's totally fine. I have a ton of freebies. Every one of my blog posts, I aim to create like a one-page freebie opt-in, and that's fine. But you still want to have like that signature freebie that's really going to showcase your business overall. But yeah, having some smaller ones is a great idea too, especially if you're really trying to list build and create some awesome content. So, good question. There's a ton of options, and depending on what you're doing. So, some things that I see, an ebook. Oh, okay, like on your site. So, there's a ton of options for that too. I use ConvertKit for my email program right now. I just moved from MailChimp though. So, when I was on MailChimp, I used a program called Pop-Up Alley. It does cost, but you can put it on your site and create the pop-ups, and it's the cool thing about that and why it costs is because it's really, really, Pop-Up Alley. Exactly, I think it might be A-L-L-Y, no E, but you should probably find it searching that too. It's very popular. That gives a lot of options for designing, and it's even kind of confusing because it's so, it's just kind of really technical, so if that scares you, you might not want it, but it does make beautiful pop-ups. I used a couple other things. Oh yeah, they do have a free version. So I haven't used the free version, but Stephanie, she loves it. So good to know. If you have any questions about that, you can ask her. But I used something called OptinCat for a while. That was like $10. Hello Bar is something to get the announcement bar at the top. Of course, you can go with lead pages. ConvertKit, and actually all the email programs have a way to make them right in there. Like MailChimp, you can even make them in there for free signups, but they don't really look that great. But I have clients who use MailChimp, the MailChimp opt-ins, and it works fine. Yeah, so you can get, if you search in the plugins on WordPress, if you use WordPress, you can find some plugins that might be good options. And you can also make one right in MailChimp, a sign-up form, and then bring the code over. You might want to get like an assistant or somebody to help with that if technical stuff is not your forte. But it's not too big of a deal. Okay, you use Squarespace. I don't really know how it works in Squarespace. To be honest. But I think Squarespace actually, because I did a webinar with somebody, Squarespace I think has a, I don't know what you guys call them, not plugins, but like a module or something like that, that is a sign up form. Like I think it's just built right into Squarespace. So you put that and then you just log in with MailChimp through it. Like put in your username or something like that, and you can connect your list right to it. I think that Squarespace has that. It might be called an opt-in or a subscription or something like that. I don't know for sure, but I know it has something like that. So it would be like name, email, and then a button. It has that. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed the topic. Yeah, of course. And if you have any other questions, you can join me and my community if you're not there already at taylormanningcreative.com/community. I have a free Facebook group where we hang out and you can always ask anything about marketing. That's my forte, so I'm always willing to talk about it and help people with it. So if that's something you're looking for, it's taylormanningcreative.com/community. All right, guys, see you.